Right, Norton Commando. I don't know what K is on a plate, I can't remember. But he said it's 74, but the engine number and frame number tally to 72. So, different bits of wiring. It's got a... The issue was, it couldn't get it started. Been sitting a long time. He said the engine was rebuilt, the old engine. So he rebuilt the engine, did get it running, but then he decided to rewire it, or somebody decided to rewire it,
yeah,
and then it wouldn't go again. So there were definitely some wiring issues with it, which I've done. But also the fuel taps were completely blocked. I cleaned those out, but those being completely blocked, so then I thought I better take the bottoms off the carburetors. So the main jets were completely blocked,
yeah,
which I've cleaned out. On the top of the main jet Venturi, they have like a air idle bypass screw, so that does your idle circuit. So I've cleaned those out. Put it all back together. Do you want me to explain the wiring, what I've done?
that would be helpful.
Because they're quite a quirky setup on these. So you've got lots of different year wiring diagrams from 68 to 74. This is the one that tallies. This is a 72 on, but not post late 73.
Okay.
So this one tallies up with pretty much everything that I've got on here. Yeah?
Okay.
So you start with your basic circuits. This is positive earth, so your red wires are earth back to the chassis.
Yeah.
Not positive. Negative is your live feed. Yeah.
Okay.
So battery. Yeah. Start from your battery. Okay. So power to your rectifier, which is this bit here. So that's your two wires there, brown and blue.
Okay.
Okay. So even if that doesn't work, you're still getting power through to the rest of the bike. Okay.
Sure.
So you've got a thing called a Zener diode, which is down there. That is that bit there, which is basically for your charging system, a heat sink system, stop you boiling the battery.
Yeah.
Then out of there you go to the capacitor, which is this piece here.
Yeah.
And this is all a bit kind of gobbledygook to me. I don't understand it. It's all to do with the charging system, all of that lot.
Right.
But as long as you can trace your circuits through, yeah. So then you've got power down to the ignition switch here.
Okay.
So that's basically your purple wires, linked to all of those. One goes out to the power socket, which is there, but that isn't actually wired up. That was for you can plug a light in it if it's dark, or charge from that point, yeah?
Yeah.
So then from your ignition switch, everything spreads out to the rest of the bike, yeah? So you've got three positions. That, still remove the key, is when the bike's parked if you want to leave the side lights on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah? That is off. That is ignition only, and that is ignition and lights.
Okay.
So they're your three positions. And the only other thing I had to change, these are your stator or your generator wires, yeah? So you've got green and white, and you've got yellow and green. That wire there was plugged into that wire there, so that's all one complete circuit, which is wrong. So what you've got is out of your generator, which is here, your alternator, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your yellow and green, yeah?
Okay.
Goes to your rectifier, which is that bit. Then also out of that you've got a feed that goes to what's called a warning light assimilator, which is this piece here.
Okay.
Okay. The other side of that, which is just a straight connection, which is that one, green and white, straight from alternator to the other side of the rectifier. That shouldn't matter which side of the rectifier you put those two wires on. That's irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. The issue being at the moment, when it was running, the charge warning light is still on. So it's either a fault with that, whatever that may be. I don't know, I've never heard of one, a warning light simulator. But that being wired up wrong, the rectifier, yeah, because it's solid state, it could have blown the rectifier up.
Yeah.
But I found the original in the box of bits, so I can swap that one over and try it.
Yeah.
If not, I'll get another warning light simulator and try that. And the rest of it was just the Boyer Branston electronic ignition was wired up wrong.
The what, sorry?
It's an electronic ignition system. That, yeah?
Okay.
So basically your normal bike, one of this age, 70s, would have points and condensers in the side cover here with an automatic advance and retard system behind it.
Yeah.
For the timing. You take that out, you put a magnet plate on, you put that on, gets rid of all the points, all your condensers and everything. Now this, what you have to do, there's a bit of paper with it all written somewhere. Yeah. Added Boyer Branston Micro 4 electronic ignition module. Note, this requires that the coil wiring is changed from parallel factory standard to series.
Yeah.
So, whereas on an original, let's find the original wiring diagram. Hold on. So that's wired as per original, this one, yeah? So you've got a live feed coming out through a ballast resistor from your ignition switch, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Feed your coils. Okay? So that is 1, 2. So they're in parallel, yeah?
Yeah.
And then your positive side goes out to your points. The points spark, make the plug spark. So that's wired in parallel. This, your live feed comes in, yeah?
Yeah.
You have 2 wires go down to your points pickups. Then you have that straight to that, so that's from the Boyer Branston electronic ignition through one coil through to the other coil. So that's what you call in series, yeah?
Yeah.
So then you have one coil just goes back to earth because both of the coils spark at the same time.
Right.
Okay, it's called a lost spark system. So when one piston's up, say, on compression stroke, it'll fire and go bang.
Yeah.
When that piston's down, it's also sparking that spark plug, but it's not going to do anything because there's no compression mixture in there or anything. It's on the exhaust stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah? Does that make sense?
Sure it does.
So that was wired up wrong. So put all of that back. I'm surprised it still works because normally when you get things like that muddled up, they just pop the electronic ignition units.
Yeah.
Oh, put the battery back on, that'd help.
That would help.
5 years later. Right, so let's see which wire we got. No, it's not that one then. It's that one.
There you go.
Right, so we have got a side lamp there, which is your park light. Okay? You've got a side lamp there, which is your park lamp. You can take the key out, walk away from the bike.
Yeah.
So if you parked it on the side of the road and you think your battery's good enough to last, you can leave it like that. Right, so that's ignition on. So you've got nothing, no? You've got an ignition warning light there. So that's powered up all your systems now. You can kick that and it'll go.
Okay.
That's ignition on and lights. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's still on side lamp. That's headlamp. Dip beam, main beam. Dip beam, main beam.
Yeah.
Main beam warning light. There. It's had all the indicators taken out of it, so we've got no indicators. That's back onto side lamps. You've got a front brake warning lamp for the brakes. Okay. So that's your front brake warning lamp.
Yeah.
Rear brake warning lamp.
Yeah.
So that's everything, all the systems work. So took a bit of jiggling around, a bit of pokery like you do. Fired the bike up after having, I said, cleaned the petrol taps out because they were very blocked. Had to put new Doughty washers on them to seal them. Dropped the bottom of the carbs off, cleaned all the jets out, cleaned the needles. So that was all good. Went about third kick, so there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but the Kickstart ratchet started slipping very badly and I hurt my knee and then I gave up.
Okay.
and phoned the customer and said you need a new Kickstart ratchet.
Okay.
So I'll show you what's gone wrong with that. Kickstart ratchet was slipping badly, like hardly engaging at all. So luckily I had a spare gearbox,
As you do.
as you do in that pile of bits. So stripped the one in the bike out, found the issues, which were that bush there should continue all the way through to the outer edge there. See, it's gone.
Alright, yeah.
There's a bit of it there. Somewhere. There. So that top edge should be nice and smooth.
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah.
Looks like a fucking hole saw.
Yeah.
That has chewed into the end of that Kickstart quadrant shaft. So that bit that's recessed
Yeah.
shouldn't be there.
Oh gosh.
So that's one, doing that.
Yeah.
Two, the cog is doing that. Now this passes through, sits on the inside of that case in there. Yeah. And that's your Kickstart with what's known as a ratchet pull, which sits in there, and that fits in there. So that's spring loaded. Those teeth edges there, which are now round, that's spring loaded, and that's what's left of the ratchet pull.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. So it was literally you put your foot on a Kickstart and it's just there, not doing anything.
Yeah.
And one, believe me, when you try and boot one of them over and it slips, and it's like falling off the bottom, you know, when you miss a bottom step?
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
It's like doing that,
Yeah.
but f***ing 3 times as bad. So that is knackered. That is knackered. The inside of that is knackered. That one's good. That's what the bush should look like, all the way through. Got no majorly sharp edges on there, and the ratchet teeth are pretty good. So I've ordered a new Kickstart pull, a new Kickstart pin, Kickstart pull pin, because they were both worn.
Yeah.
Where that passes through there, that's the inside of the gearbox. That goes in there. That fits in there. That's what kicks the bike over, yeah? When it's all working properly.
Yeah.
The bush that holds that in there should be a nice tight press fit. So that was falling off. You could get hold of the Kickstart and do that with it, because it's all moving. That's your outer cover, which should have an oil seal in it. Didn't have an oil seal in it, and that's the pressed in bush again.
Yeah. Pressed in.
Yeah. So, best will in the world, that wasn't going to work.
No.
Basically ordered all the bits, just waiting for those, should be here today. They said they'd sent them out yesterday. So then it's just a matter of reassemble the gearbox and give her a proper, you know, I can kick it then. So, I mean, it's like I say, it started quite, you know, 2 or 3 times, but then obviously everything got worn out. So I phoned the customer and said what it needed doing. He said, yeah, it was slipping, so at least he was aware of it. So yeah, that's about it so far on that one.